All right, so I kind of feel like, well, I've felt like for quite a while that I need to do this video, and I don't, I hate, this is the most uncomfortable video that I'll probably do, and that's because I don't ever want to come across as somebody that's looking for attention or that is wanting people to feel bad for them. That is not me, and I don't ever, I haven't done this video, and I don't share some of the things that I go through on my social media just because I fear looking like a person that's after attention or looking for pity, if you will. And I just hate that. I don't like it. I've seen other people where I look at their page and I'm like, man, I don't like that. So I try not to do that. But I also think it's very important that I share with people that have been following along or that know my situation or that may come to know the situation, that I share with them the truth of what's going on and what has been going on and reality, because I don't ever want people to think, I got in this plane crash and I broke my back and I have a spinal cord injury and I walk a little funny and that's it, and my trial's over, right? And then I'm unrelatable. I don't relate good with people that battle something for a long time. And the one thing that I can take away from the plane wreck more than anything is I hope and I feel like the reason that it happened to me, to us, me in particular, is because I'm supposed to share my journey. I'm supposed to help people through the platform I've been given or through the views I might get, to understand and see that we can do hard things. I've always been somebody that worked hard, whether it was in work or my workouts, everything I've ever done. I've been somebody that pushes really hard, maybe overexerts myself, especially when I'm working out. But that's something that I took pride in. That's something that is who I am and something I love about myself. Anyway, I want to share with everybody some of the trials that I've been going through. It's not just that I can't walk right anymore. My physical therapist, the very first day I got there, she told me, she said, people that look at people with spinal cord injuries, they only see the very, very tip of the iceberg. You see what's sticking out of the water. And that, for everybody that sees me, is that I can't walk as good. Really, that's what people see when they see me, and they think that would suck. That's a tough trial. But they don't understand, very few people understand the trials that come along with a spinal cord injury. And mine have been, anything from depression to, the lack of ability I have to do the things that I love, which maybe leads into some depression. I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. Having gone through what I've gone through and living through what I'm living through today, I wouldn't take any of it back. I wouldn't take back the crash, the little episode I had with depression. And I'll tell you what that was. It's been probably 2 months ago. I tried to stop taking some of my medications. I'm on a ton of vitamins. I'm on a little bit of testosterone, a little bit of HGH, trying to build muscle again so I can get my legs strong again. But other than that, for pain management, I don't do anything other than Lyrica, and I was taking some gabapentin. And no one ever told me with the gabapentin you need to wean off it. So about 2 months ago, I stopped taking. Well, I actually ran out and didn't get it refilled, whatever, because I wanted to try and get off everything. So I just went cold turkey off of gabapentin. And that same week, I went to Mexico, where I received treatments, and part of the treatments that I do is all detox stuff. So the day I got home from Mexico, I started feeling really, really down. I couldn't even probably point out what was making me feel down. I was extremely depressed. It was maybe one of the hardest things I've ever been through. I felt sadness and loneliness to the point that I wanted to hurt myself. I don't think I would have ever got. I can see how I would have gotten to that point had it lasted very long. But it was the worst thing I'd ever felt, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know why. I know now why, but at that time I didn't know why I was experiencing the feelings that I was feeling and the pain. I mean, I felt like I was suffocating in sadness and loneliness, and I hated it. I'd be driving down the road and I just would just break down and start crying and feel like I don't know why I felt the way I did. I don't know why I felt like I needed to hurt myself. Like I wanted to punch myself. I never did anything like that, but those are the feelings I was having. It was awful. I was sitting there talking to my little 4-year-old's preschool teacher, and I had to turn around and walk out because I was started breaking down, like I was just going to start bawling for no reason. And I had to walk past all the parents, and that same day I was driving along and crapped my pants. That I'll get into that as well here shortly. But I really, really struggled with some bad depression. And before I had experienced that depression or those feelings, I've got family members. I helped or tried to help and be there for friends, for people I know that have struggled with depression. And I would always leave them and think, man, that guy's got everything going on. What would cause him to be so down? And I would even tell him, I'd be like, look around you. I would say it in a nice way, but I'd say, look around you. You have everything. Your kids are healthy. You've got a good job. You've got a beautiful home. You have vehicles. You have all these great things. How come you feel this way? How can you be so sad and so lonely? And that's one of the reasons I'm so thankful for having gone through what I did with the depression bout. Because now I can say to those people, or I can say, hey, I know how you feel. I'm no psychologist. I have no idea how to tell you to help yourself. I don't know how I helped myself. I actually know what it was. The gabapentin, as I looked into it more, gabapentin withdrawals can be harder than alcohol or opioids or anything like that. You're supposed to wean off it over a period of like 4 or 5 months. And then I went to Mexico and got all those detox treatments. So I think everything had really come to the surface quickly. And that's where it came from with me. But I'm so thankful. I'm not joking you. I'm so glad that I experienced those feelings, because now I can relate. I might not be able to help, yet. I hope there comes a point where I can give some good pointers. But like I said, I'm no psychologist, and I don't really know how to pull somebody out of that. But I can at least say, hey, I know how you feel. And I know there's hope. And I know you don't have to feel that way forever. Whatever it is you're battling, we can get through it. You can get through it. We'll find a way to get through it, because I know our Heavenly Father. I don't care what anybody says. Literally anybody. I do not believe that our Heavenly Father ever meant for us to stay in that state of mind for a long period of time. I just don't believe that that's in His makeup. And so will we experience trials, and will our Heavenly Father maybe allow us to go through those trials of depression? For me, absolutely. And I'm thankful He did at this point. I'm really excited to move forward with my journey, because, I've learned so much about myself and about pushing through hard things and about living with something that I don't love that's out of my control. And I want to get into public speaking, and I want to get into motivational speaking, keynote speaking, just because I feel like I can connect with a lot of people that have battled some tough things. And I feel like, and I do not, this is another thing, I don't want anybody to think, oh, he's beat it, he's got it. No, I still struggle. I still struggle every day. Some mornings it's like that. If you've ever, it's funny when you're working out, at least this is how I kind of relate to this. When you're working out, it doesn't matter if it's 20 reps or 10 reps or 5 reps. If it's 5 reps, you get to 4 and you're like, oh, I can barely get that 10th one. If it's 20, you bust through that 5. No matter how tired, you get to 18 and the last 3 are hard. It doesn't matter the number. And I think that, every day, sometimes I wake up, I'll have a really, really good night's sleep. So good that when I wake up and the pain comes back in my feet, or I go to roll out of bed and it's just my legs don't work like they did. And then I have to go in and do my bowel treatment. You know, a lot of people don't realize I have to wear a diaper every day, that I do self-catheterization every 4 hours or sooner if I'm going to be on a horse or a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or snowmobile or working out. But I have to cath. I do a self-catheter program, and then the bowel treatment program. Every morning I have a bowel treatment that I'm not going to get into here, but it's not anything pretty. It sucks. And what I'm going with this is, when you wake up those mornings and you got to start that day over again, that sometimes it's a booger. You might be going through some really hard things. It's like one more rep. It's like, get up, push through it. You can do it. One more day, one more rep, one more, deal with what's in front of you right in that moment, because there's days I don't want to get out of bed. I mean, it's hard. And if I just lay there or give up on where I'm at, I have to change everything about me. I have to change my hobbies. I have to change all the things that I love about me and that I do, that I enjoy doing. And I don't want to. I don't want to be a different person. So what this is me again personally, I got to get up every day. I got to go in the gym. And I'm honestly, this is the honest truth, I love the challenge of my legs. Some of the muscles are starting to fire again, even though I don't have a lot of feeling there. And I love seeing how far I can go, how hard I can push myself, what I can accomplish. Again, though, that's one of the hard things. Bowel and bladder and sexual function, you can imagine for a man, there's nothing I can do there. There's nothing that I can do that I know of other than be patient and wait for either the filling to come back or where I find some treatment that helps, or I'll do all I can, and I'm not giving up on it by any means. But that's the frustrating part for me. I like the challenge of my legs, but living every day with the bowel and bladder deal, it's tough. And sexual function, you laugh about it if you want, but I think I'd rather have that back and go in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm a young man and still enjoy that, but it is getting better. I'm working through that process as well. And the whole process, the big picture of everything is getting better. It's getting easier, and I'm enjoying the journey for the most part. I'm figuring out, I go to a doctor tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, I don't know what day it is, 11th maybe. I'm going to 2 different pain management doctors to try and get something figured out with the pain in my feet. I have a lot of nerve pain still. I've tried a lot of different things, and there are things that are helping, but if I could get that under control, other than that, I feel like I'm doing really well. And I didn't come on here again to tell everybody that, oh, poor me, because I feel like I'm killing it. I truthfully feel like I got this. I'm okay. I'm going to get through it. But I also want to be relatable. I want people to know that there is an end in sight of any pain and suffering that we might go through. And, it's taught me so much. It's taught me about loving people and being there for people and sharing my journey with people. It's really cool. I go to this HIIT class I go Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I love it. There's about 10 guys in there that they're all struggling with addiction, and they come from, there's a halfway house that brings these guys to the gym to work out with us. And I love that I'm able to hopefully inspire them. Like, the first time that they showed up for this class, 6 of the 10 of them were sitting on the sideline. They were in jeans and tennis shoes, and they were saying their backs hurt, this and that. And our instructor, he stood me up and he said, hey, tell us your story. So I told him about breaking my back and what's working and what isn't working on my feet. And I got working out, and it was really hard for me. I was doing burpees and push-ups and squats, and some of the movements are very difficult for me right now, but I pushed through. I finished every single rep and every single round. It might take me a little longer. If I have to stay later in the class, I'll do it, but I pushed through it. And it was so cool to see this group of guys watch me and then gain that same spirit. They actually got up halfway through the class and came out and tried to finish. One guy did 5 or 6 jumping jacks and went in the bathroom and was puking and wouldn't come back out. And I was able to get a hold of him after. I'm like, dude, you've already won today. You showed up. You got here. Part of life is showing up. And I said, the next part of life is finishing and doing the reps that you need to, but you're already winning. And I promise you tomorrow, if you did 10 burpees today, you're going to do 12 tomorrow. And the next day, it's about starting. It's about finishing your reps, about finishing your round and not cheating yourself. You know, that's why I love the HIIT class so much. That's why I love CrossFit so much, because it teaches you, you know, who cares what your time is, but you finished. And you'll get better by finishing every time. And building that, you know, that mental toughness. Mental toughness is not given to anybody. I think it's earned. And I think it's one of the greatest things that you can try and accomplish is gaining that mental toughness. You know, and then loving people. I know that we're all here to love each other and help each other through the trials. One of the greatest things I've learned is what it means to support each other through trials, and what it is to be on the receiving end of that. And from the comments I get on Instagram, for the people cheering me on in the HIIT classes I do at the gym, or when they see me and they say, hey, that was really cool, you did that. Or, you know, when you cheer somebody on and you show love to people, it changes everything. And a lot of people just need that extra push. You know, there's a quick story. There's a guy at the gym that he's a great big guy, and I can tell he doesn't really know how to lift very good. And I'd seen him there for 4 or 5 days, and I'd always kind of say hi and try and wave to him a little bit, and he'd almost blow me off all the time. And I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't really want me to talk to him or something. And then about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went up to him while he was working out, and I said, hey, I noticed you've been here for, I see you here all the time, and you look like you're really pushing hard, and you're working hard. I just want to tell you, I notice it, and how cool it is, and that it motivates me to want to come in here and push, because you're trying, you're doing great. And all of a sudden, the guy started talking to me. And now when I go in the gym, if he's there, I can't hardly get a workout in. He just wants to, he's got a friend, and he's got somebody that noticed him and that noticed that he's working hard. And it's just another lesson for me to reach out to people, show that kindness, show that love. When you see somebody that looks like they're struggling, we know what it looks like to struggle. When we see somebody like that, find a way to break that barrier, to get in with them, to support them, because we all go through hard things in life. Not one of us is exempt from that, I don't believe. There will be a time when we go through something hard. And if we can learn to love each other and show each other that we love each other, it's going to make everybody's burdens a lot lighter. So I just wanted to share a little bit about where I am today and kind of the lessons I've learned thus far in my journey, and hope it wasn't too long and boring. So.